Hi, friends. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Diary. My name is Tracy, and here's part two
I,
to my debt story.
get what I can from the total car. And I'm just making sure I got insurance on the car that I already had and not go through that again. And I'm just going to get myself together. But this thought occurred to me that I could have died because it scared me so bad and spun out the car and everything about my kids. And that nobody in my family actually knew that I even had surgery. And I could have died then because of the excessive bleeding that I experienced. And these thoughts fire off in your head, and then one day there's somebody at my door who's an officer, and my mom has died. Why my sisters never contact me, I can't tell you that. Why it took my cousins going through the police trying to figure out how to contact me with my family, had my phone number, I can't tell you that. It's always been the game of we get what we get and she doesn't matter type stuff. And this is why I live here, because it was only here that I could actually be me, if that makes sense to anybody out there. So when you have unresolved issues with a parent, that you're hoping that one day you can have an adult conversation and sit down and talk, grief is you go somewhere. And I went off the rails for like 2 years. I was just in a really, really bad place. I don't drink or anything like that. I think I grew spin. I hung around people who, excuse me, who I would know aren't my friends. I hung around those folks, and I knew these are not friends. I knew that because my common sense didn't go away. Even though my common sense don't work all the time, I knew that much. And I went through that from 2015 to about 2017 when my youngest son was graduating from high school, and I had borrowed money because my car, the last car that we had that was paid off, it broke down twice in 2016. It was like right after I got a bonus, it broke down and took most of my bonus check to pay to get it fixed. Excuse me. And then right afterwards, maybe a couple of months later, it breaks down again. So I put in probably $1,600 into that car. I didn't even think to look and see how much that car was worth, but that's neither here nor there. But it's part of the stupid column that I had. And so in 2017, my youngest son's graduating, and I'm like, okay, I've taken out a loan to pay for that second repair. The money was free, and it was from CashNet USA. I borrowed it back again to cover gifts for him, and it was like, I can't do this anymore. I was into bullet journaling online, watching on YouTube, and trying to get my life together as far as a work perspective to earn more money, because I always thought the solution to my problem was to earn more money. If I got more money, all of this would go away. But it really was learning to manage the money I had, where a lot of stuff went away. And so I'm reading a book, feeling dumber than a box of rocks, and I write my first budget, which was my June 15th check back in 2017. So it's almost 2 years to the day that I created my first budget. It was a guy on YouTube, the Wannabe Homesteader. I watched that video over and over and over again. I checked out the book. I went to Dave Ramsey's blog, and then I went and bought the book. And I tried to improve my behavior and elevate myself and do better than what I had been doing, because I knew I couldn't do that anymore. And I had scared myself so bad. I just knew we were going to be homeless again. So not only did I have to create that budget, but I had to have a conversation with my sons, because we had a power outage. I can't move my kids to a hotel for a night. I can't do anything. And it was just embarrassing. One embarrassing move after another that I kept making. And so I had to talk to them and let them know what I had done, that there were going to be cuts in the house. My youngest son had just turned 18. My oldest son, he's already an adult. And so I'm very thankful for my guys, because whereas I can't sometimes forgive myself, they let me know that they never held a grudge in the first place. And my oldest son very bluntly told me, how in the world were you supposed to do this without making any mistakes when you took care of us by yourself? How were you supposed to do that? You know, and he understood that sometimes I had 2 jobs. So I had to, you know, I sacrificed something, and that was time with them, and, you know, spending time getting my finances together, because I always thought the solution was more money. And it wasn't. But we embarked on a journey. Then my son calls me one night, and my son does not use the phone to call anybody. If you call him, he'll tell you, I don't answer the phone. I answer text messages, but you need to work on that. But anyway, he calls me and he tells me he can't keep the car started, and he's been getting jumps from people at different places, and the car sounding funny, and the timing chain had broken. And I will insert a picture of my first budget, so you'll see I wrote transmission, because that's what the tow truck driver thought it was, but it wasn't. I had already paid what I could pay, and I didn't even have money to give to my son or to pay the tow truck driver. My son had to do it. And that was another thing. I just kept thinking, oh my God, you're turning into your mom. You're going to be this person who works a whole entire life, and you're not going to have anything to show for it. You're going to be dependent on your kids to actually take care of you. That used to be my joke with them, but I had no desire for them to take care of me, because this girl plans on traveling when she retires. I have no intentions on being dependent on anyone. But I ended up having to get a rental car and paying cash and using these gig apps that fit with my schedule, and earn the money to pay for the car while I still try to work on the budgeting side, because I still had a disconnect through all of this. And when I got my bonus, I used that to make a down payment on a car. And I'm sitting there, and I'm so sorry the wind just picked up. I'm glad the wind is blowing, but this is kind of annoying, because I can't imagine what this is going to sound like. But it's not humid for me, so sorry for you guys with the background noise that you're going to get. But anyway, I made the down payment. I pretty much tell the salesperson how to sell to me while I'm running off at the mouth, and I sometimes will call that bumping my gums. That means I'm talking a lot. And so I paid for all these little extras, extended warranties and all this other crap. So I ended up financing the car for $17,000. I knew it was wrong, because I had already read Dave Ramsey's book. Some things I bought into, some things I did not at first. But I did sign up for an FPU, because I kept thinking, you're not getting something. Something is not clicking. You don't seem to be out of baby step 0, and you're not finished with baby step 1. Something's not clicking here. So I think I get my kit. Class is about to start that Saturday, and the night before, I'm parking my car. I've worked, I've merchandised, I've audited all afternoon. A storm is coming through, and I parked my car across from where I live. I backed it into the space, and I tell you all this because the next morning I hear a very loud boom. I wake up about 4:30 in the morning. There was always something going on at this apartment complex, and I said, I'm not waking up for this. I'm not getting up for 15 more minutes. I do get up and go look out the window, and there's my car sitting in the middle of the parking lot. Go talk to my son. My son had taken off because of flooding in the streets, and my car had been totaled. Somebody had run right into the back of it, which means they went over a curve next to a bush, never touched the bush, and right into the back of my car and knocked it out. I had heard a couple of things. I heard my upstairs neighbor's door close, and I heard a man talking on the phone. I heard her yelling at her son when I went in and put on some clothes because I went outside in my pajamas, yelling at her son, "What have you done?" And I knew right then, because of some activities I had seen around our apartment, that the boy was involved in some things. And it was crazy, but my car had been totaled that I just got, and the first payment was coming out the very next day. So it was like, what the heck? But this time, because I learned about car insurance, I had full coverage and I had gap insurance. So I wasn't paying for a car like I was on my older car, paying for a car I didn't have, because I still had that note too that I was paying off at the beginning of my debt-free journey. So I go to FPU, a big ball of nutso, because the first video, Dave Ramsey is telling you how you gotta save that $1,000, and he's all hype. I want to be hype, but I think it's nuts. And I just been through hell, and I'm paying another $300 a week, I think. Yeah, it was 300 and something a week for a rental car. Save what? Save who? I can't do it. And one of the coordinators just told me, do no more harm. That was the best advice anybody could have given me, because I think the pastor could tell I was about to come unglued, and I had had a rough week. And so that's what I did. I tightened up even more. I merchandised and audited whenever I could, and I sold off some company stock that I had bought, and that gave me that first 500, which helped me. I quickly got to 1,000 after that, but I ended up having to finance. I hate to say ended up, because it seems like I didn't have a choice. I chose to finance another car for $17,000. I went in at $13,000, and so I got rid of about $3,000-ish at the beginning of my debt-free journey, and so that took me out of baby step 0, out of baby step 1, and then during that 9 weeks, I also paid off my Target charge card, which was the first debt I had paid off. Well, no, I paid off some small medical bills that I had, 2 medical bills and a Target charge card, and that was the beginning of it all. And I wanted to put that out there to somebody, because I was homeless and I was going to work every single day. Nobody knew that. I'm admitting this on YouTube, but nobody knew back then. And I'm quite sure there's somebody out there that feels like I felt that day, that's walking along that same path that I was on. And you can do it. I can do it. We're going to do this. You're going to hit some bumps in the road. It seems like, when you're trying your darndest, everything happens. I just remember saying, God, I'm going to keep on going, because I think this is nothing but the devil testing me to see if I'm serious. And I'm a little flaky, so I'll try different things. I'm always trying something new. And so he's testing my commitment, and I'm going to show him I'm committed. And I've been committed since then. Baby step 0 is not quick for some people. I know some people would say, I'm not bad with money. Honey, I was bad with money and then some. I used to call myself, it was stupid squared, stupid to the second power, because I would double down on whatever I was doing, because I never had a chance to breathe. I never had a chance to breathe. I never gave myself a chance to breathe, to assess things. And so I wanted to let you guys know who I am, where I've been, because I had to pay my dues first. I can't come out here and tell you how to get through an adverse situation if I've never been there before. I'm not going to ever tell you I'm not bad with money because, oh God, yes I am. I'm not going to tell you I'm not lazy because sometimes I can be. And you just work to improve yourself and your situation, and things do get better. I've had little hiccups happen. I know if I dip into that emergency fund for whatever reason, I have to replenish it and move on. Always take care of that baby step number one. Don't try to jump ahead of it, because I tried, and when my car got totaled, I was skinny dipping. The water went out and the emperor had no clothes on. I was skinny dipping again. So I followed the steps, I submitted to the process, and I worked it. And so I hope that gives some clarity. I will answer any questions that I can.
Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing below, and you have a wonderful day.